Have you ever found yourself kind of caught in that space where technology is just moving so fast, changing all the time, but business still needs, strategy and long-term thinking?
Yeah, it's a common feeling, isn't it?
Totally. You see all the headlines, right? AI breakthroughs, cybersecurity scares, data this, data that.
Hmm.
And you think, okay, how do I not just tread water here? How do I actually lead? How do I connect these two worlds?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that sounds like you are definitely in the right place today, because we're diving deep into something really crucial for making a big impact now: the Master of Science in Information Systems, the MSIS degree.
That's right.
And specifically, we're going to look at it through the lens of the program at Tarleton State University.
Exactly. And our mission for this deep dive, it's pretty straightforward, really. We want to unpack what an MSIS actually is.
Right.
How it's different from, say, computer science or IT, those other tech degrees you hear about.
Yeah, they get lumped together a lot.
They do. And then we'll really get into how this degree, specifically the one in Tarleton, is designed to set you up for strategic leadership, to make you like a vital asset, not just another person filling a seat.
A key player.
Precisely. We'll look at why this program in particular stands out today in this, super competitive environment. It's about building a career with real influence.
Okay, sounds great. What are we drawing on for this?
Good question. We've got some solid sources. We're looking at Tarleton State University's Department of Marketing and Computer Information Systems catalog, their official information systems, MS degrees and programs web pages, and also transcripts from a really insightful webinar they did called Innovate in Tech, Explore Tarleton's MS in Information Systems.
Okay.
And we're also pulling from a comprehensive report. It's titled The Strategic Imperative, a Master's in Information Systems for the DFW Tech Landscape. So yeah, lots to dig into to connect the dots for your future.
Perfect. Let's get started. Okay, let's roll up our sleeves here. This whole world of tech degrees, it can be confusing, right? You hear computer science, information technology, information systems. People throw these terms around sometimes like they mean the same thing.
All the time.
But they're really fundamentally different, aren't they? And figuring out those differences, well, it seems absolutely critical if you're trying to map out a career path today.
It really is.
I mean, I'll admit, at first glance, you might think it's all just computers, isn't it? But the nuances are huge. They set you on totally different tracks within a company.
You've hit on a really common misconception there. And, think about the tech scene right here in Dallas-Fort Worth as a perfect example.
Oh, yeah. DFW is booming.
It's not just booming, it's a powerhouse. It's got this great business-friendly vibe, a really diverse economy. I mean, think about this. In just one recent year, DFW added over 20,000 tech jobs.
20,000, wow.
And attracted more than $1.1 billion in startup investment. That's not just steady growth, that's an explosion.
Yeah, that's huge.
But here's the kicker, the really important insight for our listeners. That massive demand. It's not just for people who can code or people who can manage networks. Increasingly, it's for professionals who can translate what technology can do into actual business strategy.
Ah, okay. The translators, the bridge builders.
Exactly. And that right there is where Information Systems IS really carves out its unique space.
So it's not just knowing the tech, but knowing how to make the tech work for the business goals. Could you maybe elaborate on that? What does information systems really mean in that strategic sense?
Absolutely. So at its core, Information Systems, or IS, is really the foundational discipline. It defines the whole infrastructure for how an organization gathers data, processes it, manages it, all with the goal of creating value and informing better decisions.
Okay. Infrastructure for data.
Yeah, but think bigger than just gadgets. It's more like a coordinated ecosystem.
Yeah.
You've got hardware, software, databases, networks, all these subsystems working together, integrated intelligently to support what the organization needs to do.
An ecosystem, I like that.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is that IS goes beyond just the tech itself. There's a huge emphasis on the human element, on the processes.
Wow, how people use it.
Exactly. It's all about how technology serves people, serves the organization, helps achieve those big picture business goals. You don't just measure the success of an information system by, how fast the server runs.
Right. Speed isn't everything.
Nope. Ultimately, it's measured by its utility. How useful is it to the people using it? Does it actually empower the business leaders? An IS professional's main job, really, is transforming raw data, just numbers and facts, into actionable knowledge that actually drives the company forward.
Can you give an example of that transformation? Data to knowledge.
Sure, let's make it concrete. Think about daily sales transactions in a retail store.
Hmm.
That's raw data.
Right.
Useful for day-to-day stuff, but tactical.
Okay.
Now, if an IS professional just collects that data, well, that's okay. But if they design and manage systems to organize it, analyze it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe show sales trends per region, suddenly that raw data becomes valuable information for a manager.
Ah, I see. Context.
Right. And then take it one step further. What if that analysis running through a well-designed IS reveals some emerging market trend, or maybe an untapped customer group? That's not just information anymore. That's strategic knowledge.
Knowledge you can act on.
Exactly. Knowledge that can inform those high-level decisions, maybe even changes the whole company's direction. The IS professional is really the architect of the systems that make that leap possible, turning all that noise into actual insight.
That makes so much sense. It's like you said, the architect, not just building the engine, but designing the whole car, planning the route, making sure the driver understands the destination. Okay, that clarifies the strategic part. But let's go back to those other degrees. How does IS really stand apart from computer science and IT? Because, like we said, people mix them up constantly.
Yeah, it's a super important distinction. And once you get it, honestly, your career path becomes a lot clearer. Let's try an analogy. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, analogies are good.
All right. First, think of computer science, CS. Think of CS folks as the scientists and inventors of computing.
The deep thinkers.
Right. Their focus is on the theory behind it all. Algorithms, math principles, creating totally new software, new hardware. It's deeply technical, lots of programming usually. If you dream of being an AI researcher building the next-gen stuff, or a software engineer creating a revolutionary app from scratch,
Yeah.
CS is probably your lane. They're asking, how can we build something completely new?
Got it. Inventors. What about IT?
Okay, next, information technology, IT. Think of these professionals as the practitioners and custodians of technology.
The ones keeping the lights on.
Exactly. Their focus is on the practical side, applying and managing the computer systems and networks that already exist. They're the guardians of the company's tech infrastructure, implementing things, managing them, optimizing them, providing tech support, handling network security. It's very hands-on, very problem-solving focused. They're always asking, how do we keep our current systems running smoothly and securely?
Okay, so network admins, IT support specialists, that kind of role.
Precisely. If you enjoy troubleshooting, keeping things running, being the go-to person when something breaks, IT could be a great fit.
Right, and then there's IS, the strategist.
Yes, information systems.
Yes.
IS. This is where it gets really unique. It's often described as a kind of crossbreed between an MS and an MBA.
Interesting, best of both worlds.
In a way, yeah. An IS professional is the strategist and the orchestrator. They blend technical knowledge, things like database management, systems analysis with core business principles. Think IT project management, business intelligence, even understanding how organizations work.
So they speak both languages, tech and business.
That's the core value proposition, an MSIS grad. They might not be a better coder than a CS grad or a better network admin than an IT pro, but they are uniquely positioned to lead, to manage, to strategize, because they understand both sides deeply. They're constantly asking, how can we use technology existing or new to hit our business goals and get ahead of the competition?
Okay, I see the niche now.
And this focus on management and application, it often makes IS more accessible. Maybe you didn't do a tech undergrad degree or you have work experience and want to shift into leadership. IS can be a great pathway.
That's a really helpful breakdown, the scientist, the custodian, and the strategist. It really clicks now. So the IS person is making sure all those parts work together for the big picture. What's the biggest challenge in making that happen, in that orchestration role that an MSIS prepares you for?
Oh, that's a great question. A really significant challenge, and where the MSIS training really shines, is designing that whole integrated tech ecosystem so it serves every level of the organization effectively.
From the ground floor to the executive suite.
Exactly. Making sure that raw data from the daily operations flows upwards seamlessly so it can actually inform top-level strategy. We can kind of visualize this by thinking about the different layers of systems IS professionals deal with. Imagine, say, a big global retailer.
Okay.
So way down at the bottom, handling the day-to-day stuff, you've got transaction processing systems, TPS.
Like the cash registers.
Yep. Every sale, every click online, every item scanned, every payroll entry, billions of transactions. These systems are absolutely vital for just keeping the business running smoothly, minimizing errors. Got it. The basics.
Then the data from all those TPS events feeds up into a management information system, MIS.
Okay, next level.
Right. The MIS collects and processes that raw TPS data into structured reports for middle managers. So instead of seeing every single sale, an MIS might spit out a report saying, how many blue sweaters did we sell in the Midwest region last week? It gives managers focused insights to monitor performance.
More summarized.
Exactly. Then, for more complex stuff like ad hoc analysis, IS Pros design decision support systems, DSS.
DSS, what does that do?
This is where a manager might ask a more complicated question. Like, okay, if we run this specific marketing campaign and we cut the price of this product by 10%, how much will sales likely go up next quarter? And what's the effect on our profit margin?
Ah, the what-if machine.
Pretty much. A DSS uses models and data to let managers compare different scenarios, test hypotheses, and make more strategic choices. It gives them the tools for that what-if thinking.
Okay, TPS, MIS, DSS, what's at the top? At the very top, you have the Executive Support System, ASS, sometimes called an Executive Information System, or EIS.
For the big bosses.
Right. This system aggregates the really high-level strategic information. It pulls key data from the MIS and DSS, maybe even external data like economic trends or competitor activity, and presents it usually in a concise, often visual dashboard format.
Command center view.
Exactly. Maybe one screen shows global market share, key performance indicators across all divisions, major risks. It gives top executives that big picture view they need to make those multi-million or billion-dollar strategic decisions. Where should we invest next? What markets should we enter or exit?
Wow.
And the IS professional, they're involved in designing, implementing, and managing this entire interconnected ecosystem, making sure that raw data gets transformed all the way up into strategic insight, empowering everyone from the person on the shop floor to the CEO to make smarter, data-informed decisions. It's a huge responsibility.
No kidding. That really paints a picture of the strategic scope. Okay, so we've established IS is strategic, it's layered. But the tech world, as we said, just keeps changing so fast. New tools, new platforms, constantly. So what does this mean for, career longevity? How does getting an MSIS degree actually help future-proof your career? Because that's a huge concern for people, right? Investing time and money in a degree, you want it to stay relevant.
That's a critical question. Absolutely vital. And it gets to the heart of the MSIS value. Let's be really clear up front. Future-proof doesn't mean learning a static set of skills that will never be outdated.
Right, that's impossible in tech.
Completely impossible. Instead, being future-proof is about cultivating adaptability. It's about fostering a real curiosity, a mindset of continuous learning.
Yeah.
The old way of education, just memorizing facts, that just doesn't cut it anymore in this unpredictable tech-driven world.
You have to learn how to learn.
Exactly. And the MSIS degree, its resilience comes precisely from focusing on developing a flexible, hybrid skill set, one that goes beyond any single technology or platform. It's about learning how to learn, and just as importantly, how to apply that learning strategically, no matter what the next big thing is.
So it's less about knowing, say, the specifics of Python version 3.1 and more about understanding programming principles, data structures, and how to solve a business problem using whatever the best tool is at the time.
You've nailed it.
Yeah.
It's building that robust intellectual toolkit, not just collecting tools. And a huge part of that resilience comes from the program's very deliberate focus on blending those advanced technical skills with essential soft skills.
Ah, the soft skills, often overlooked, but so important.
Critically important. An IS degree absolutely gives you strong analytical and problem-solving abilities. Those are foundational. But just as crucial, it emphasizes things like teamwork, effective communication.
Which includes translating tech speak into plain English, right?
Oh, absolutely. Translating complex technical ideas into clear business language that executives or clients can understand. That's huge. Plus negotiation skills, experience managing diverse teams, developing a global perspective. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're what allows someone to truly thrive and, importantly, lead in this industry.
Yeah, I can see that. You could have the best technical idea ever.
Right. A revolutionary algorithm, whatever. But if you can't clearly explain its value to the people holding the purse strings, or negotiate the resources needed, or manage the team to actually build and implement it, well, its impact is going to be pretty limited, isn't it?
For sure. The idea dies on the vine.
Exactly. The MSIS program works hard to ensure you're not just technically competent, but also an influential communicator and a capable leader. And there's another piece, data literacy.
Being comfortable with data.
More than comfortable. The curriculum really emphasizes the ability to analyze data, interpret it correctly, visualize it effectively. That's basically table stakes now for almost any significant tech or business role.
Everyone needs to understand data.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Every industry, every department. Being able to pull real insights from data isn't specialized anymore. It's fundamental. And the degree also pushes you to cultivate that mindset of curiosity and innovation. It prepares graduates to be, as they say, creators, problem solvers, and innovators, people who can look at emerging tech, like AI, and figure out how to use it to solve real business challenges.
So it's that strategic problem solving, that adaptability, that's the core of being future-proof.
That's it. That's what ensures career longevity when things are constantly changing. It opens doors, leads to promotions, puts you in line for those critical leadership roles, and MSIS really is a long-term investment in your career trajectory.
I really like that framing. You're not just building a technician, you're building a strategic thinker, someone who can lead through change. That feels genuinely future-proof. Okay, so we've got this picture of the ideal IS professional, strategic, adaptable, the bridge builder. But how does a specific program, like the one at Tarleton State University, actually do that? How do they forge these leaders? What's unique about their approach?
All right, let's get specific about Tarleton. This is where their MSIS program really stands out as a very thoughtfully designed solution for today's tech world. And one of the first things, maybe the most important thing that sets it apart, and this is huge for you listeners, is its accreditation.
Accreditation, okay. Why is that so crucial?
Well, the Dr. Sampak College of Business at Tarleton, which houses the MSIS program, holds AACSB accreditation.
AACSB, I've heard that. Isn't that a big deal in business schools?
It's a massive deal. Think of
Yeah.
it like the, I don't know, the platinum standard for business education globally. Fewer than 6% of business schools worldwide achieve this.
Wow, only 6%.
Yeah. And it's not just about prestige, like bragging rights. It translates into real advantages for you. It tells employers everywhere that the program meets incredibly rigorous academic standards, that you're getting a high-quality, relevant business education, and that the curriculum is constantly updated with input from actual industry leaders on advisory boards.
So employers recognize it and value it.
Highly. It can seriously impact things like whether your company will pay for your tuition through reimbursement programs because they trust the quality. And if you ever think about getting a doctorate down the road, having an AACSB-accredited master's makes getting into top PhD programs much easier.
That's a concrete benefit. Any other accreditation?
Yes, Tarleton also holds regional accreditation from the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, or SCCAAOC. That's a broader accreditation ensuring overall institutional quality. So you've got both the Specialized Business Gold Standard and the General University Assurance. Your degree is recognized and respected, period.
Okay, that's powerful. It's like a quality guarantee. So it's not just any MSIS degree. It's one from a top-tier, quality-assured business school. That's a differentiator right there.
It absolutely is. And the program's mission statement really reflects this strategic focus. It says their goal is to provide a relevant, high-quality education that develops learners' decision-making skills in the productive and profitable utilization of computer information systems, preparing them for success in their careers and lifelong learning.
Productive and profitable utilization. That sounds very business-focused.
Exactly. It directly targets that strategic application of technology. The curriculum hits key areas like managing network solutions, applying tech strategically in different kinds of organizations, designing and optimizing databases effectively, and building those critical IT project management skills. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're the practical, high-demand skills employers are crying out for in leadership roles.
And you mentioned affordability, too.
Yes, that's another key point. Tarleton's MSIS program gets recognized not just for excellence, it's been ranked by sites like Intelligent.com and OnlineMasters.com, but also for being accessible and affordable. It represents a really sound investment. For a lot of people, finding that sweet spot between high quality and reasonable cost is, frankly, a game changer.
Absolutely, especially for people already working, maybe with families, mortgages. That accessibility is huge. How does the program specifically cater to someone who's, say, working full-time and needs flexibility?
That's really a cornerstone of the program's design. They explicitly say it's crafted with your needs in mind, aimed squarely at the working professional. The biggest piece is that it's delivered 100% online.
Fully online.
Which gives you ultimate convenience. It's not just, recordings dumped online. It's designed as a fully integrated, flexible format that fits around your job, your family, your life. You study when and where it works for you.
And who teaches these online courses?
That's important too. You're learning from experienced, full-time Tarleton professors. These aren't adjuncts juggling multiple gigs. They're dedicated faculty who bring both academic rigor and real-world industry insight into the virtual classroom. Many have worked or consulted extensively in the field.
So you get both theory and practice.
Exactly. The program itself is 36 graduate credit hours. You can finish it in as little as 2 years if you go full tilt.
Wow, 2 years.
But you also have up to 6 years to complete it, which gives you incredible breathing room to pace yourself based on what else is going on in your life. No feeling rushed.
6 years is very flexible.
It really is. Plus, they have flexible start dates, fall, spring, or summer enrollment and rolling admissions, so you don't have to wait for one specific time of year to apply or start. It makes getting in much smoother.
And what's the online learning experience actually like? Is it isolating?
That's a common concern, but Tarleton seems very aware of it. You're not just left alone with videos. Students can actually sample a course using their learning platform, Canvas, to get a feel for it before they even commit.
Oh, that's smart. A test drive.
Yeah. And there are lots of ways to interact. They have Zoom sessions with professors, usually optional and always recorded, so you don't miss out if you can't make it live. There are active discussion boards for asynchronous chats, group projects that build those teamwork skills we talked about.
So you collaborate with other students.
Definitely. And students often form their own informal study groups using things like GroupMe or LinkedIn. The goal is to make you feel part of a learning community, even though you're online. And remember, it's all housed within that AACSB-accredited Dr. Sampak College of Business, constantly reinforcing that crucial link between the technology you're learning and its real-world business application. ##44. Deep dive into the MSIS curriculum and academic experience.
That's a really great picture of the program's structure, the flexibility, the quality markers like accreditation. Okay, now let's really pull back the curtain. Let's look inside the virtual classroom for the Tarleton MSIS. What are students actually studying? How does that curriculum specifically build those bridge building skills we keep talking about? What's the secret sauce in their academic roadmap?
Right, let's dig into the curriculum itself, because this is where you see the intentional design really come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's built to give you a really solid foundation, but also the flexibility to specialize a bit, depending on where you want your career to go.
Okay.
So the main part is the core curriculum. That's 21 credit hours. And it's designed to give everyone that essential knowledge base that any IS leader needs. Instead of just listing course numbers, maybe we can think about them in terms of like critical skill pillars they build.
Yeah, pillars sound good. What's the first pillar?
Let's call the first one Foundational IS Management. The key course here is DCIS 5311, Managing Information Systems. This is often the very first course you take. It's broad, designed to get everyone on the same page, covering all sorts of IT systems and how businesses use them for competitive advantage. Think of it as the big picture map of how tech drives modern business. Super important, especially if you're coming from a non-tech background.
Okay, lays the groundwork. What's next?
Next, a really crucial pillar today, mastering data and analytics. You absolutely need this. This includes a couple of key courses.
Like database stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
BCIS 53-3. Applied Database Management. Here you get into the nitty-gritty of managing databases well-designed, making sure the data is accurate, keeping it secure, respecting privacy. And importantly, you get hands-on experience with actual commercial database systems. You learn how to manage the lifeblood of the organization.
Okay, essential. What else in data?
Then there's BCIS 5392, Business Intelligence Systems. This is where you learn the more advanced stuff. How to use data proactively, not just reactively. You learn about data warehousing, building those huge organized data libraries. Data mining, finding the hidden gems of patterns within that data. Text mining, pulling insights from emails, reports, social media. And OLAP, online analytical processing, which is basically fancy ways to slice and dice data to find answers. This whole pillar gives you the power to turn raw data into real strategic insights.
Turning data into decisions. Got it. Pillar 3.
Let's call the third pillar Leading Technical Projects and Systems. This is all about actually making things happen, turning ideas into reality.
Project management?
Partly. It includes BCIS 5351, IT Project Management. This is a cornerstone course. You learn why good project management is vital for IT projects. You learn the concepts, the techniques, and you actually apply them in a group project. You learn how to lead tech initiatives from start to finish on time, on budget. Super valuable.
Definitely knew that. What else in this pillar?
There's also BCIS 5307, Systems Analysis for Managers. This is about dissecting business problems and figuring out how technology can solve them. You learn different ways to analyze needs, design solutions, understand system life cycles. It's like being a business process detective, using tech as your magnifying glass, and then being the architect of the solution.
Oh, okay. Analyzing and designing. Makes sense. Is there a fourth pillar?
Yeah, let's think of the fourth as strategic infrastructure and integration, making sure the underlying tech backbone actually supports the business strategy.
Like networks and stuff.
Exactly. One course here is BCIS 5304, Telecommunications for Managers. This covers managing data communication technologies, everything from the local network in your office, the protocols that let computers talk, and critical security issues around networks. It demystifies how everything connects, and crucially, how managers secure and optimize these vital digital links for the business.
Okay. And is there a capstone, something that ties it all together?
Yes. The final core course is BCIS 5381, Strategic Information Systems. This is your capstone. This is where it all converges. You examine how organizations use IS strategically to beat the competition. You really hone your research skills, your problem solving, your presentation abilities. It pushes you to integrate everything you've learned into a coherent, strategic vision for leveraging technology.
Wow, that course sounds incredibly thorough, covering management, data, projects, infrastructure, and strategy. What about specializing, though? If someone wants to go deeper in, say, security or web development.
That's where the elective courses are key.
Right.
You take 15 hours of electives if you're doing the non-thesis track, which most students do, or 9 hours if you opt for the thesis.
Yeah.
And these electives give you a lot of flexibility to tailor the degree.
What kind of electives are available?
There's a good range. You might find courses on specific coding topics if you want to brush up there, or BCIS 5366, human-computer interaction. That's all about designing systems people actually find easy and intuitive to use. You mentioned security. There's ISCC 5305, ethical hacking, and other security seminars sometimes offered.
Ethical hacking, cool.
Yeah. Other possibilities include things like emerging technologies, maybe deeper dives into IT management, multimedia application development, BCIS 5360, web development, BCIS 5365, or e-business strategy, BCIS 537953U0.
So a good mix.
And they also have these dynamic topics courses like BCIS 5390, 5317, 5320, 5368, even MKTG 5391. These change from semester to semester based on what's hot, what's new in the field, so you can really explore cutting-edge stuff, keeping the curriculum fresh.
That's great. Keeps it relevant. Now, you mentioned a thesis option. Who typically does that?
Yeah, the thesis option, BCIS 5388, takes up 6 of your elective hours. It's really encouraged if you're thinking seriously about getting a PhD later or want a career heavily focused on research. It really sharpens those advanced research skills.
Sounds intense.
It is. I have to be honest, very few students choose it because it's a significant chunk of challenging academic research and takes a lot of time and self-discipline. But for those with that specific goal, it's an invaluable experience. We had a student, for example, who did a great thesis looking at how organizations mature in their cybersecurity practices. Really relevant work. So it's a fantastic path if you're aiming for academia or deep research.
Okay, good to know. It's there for those who need it. Given this managerial focus, this strategic angle, do you really need a specific tech undergrad degree to succeed? What if your background is in, I don't know, English or healthcare or education? Can you still thrive?
That's honestly one of the best things about this program. The answer is a definite yes. Tarleton is very clear. Regardless of your academic background, you are welcome. There are no leveling courses required, no prerequisites you have to take first.
No catch-up courses needed.
Nope. Remember that first core course, BCIS 5311, Managing Information Systems. It's specifically designed to build that foundation for everyone, no matter where you're starting from. They successfully bring in students from business, sure, but also from tech fields, education. We see a lot of teachers making career shifts, healthcare professionals wanting to manage health IT systems, people already in IT wanting to move up. It's a real mix.
And that diversity is probably a good thing, right? Different perspectives.
Absolutely. That's a key insight. People from non-IT backgrounds bring incredibly valuable viewpoints. The program, remember, is more managerial than hardcore coding. It's about managing technical people, understanding how to leverage technology for business goals. So your unique background, it actually becomes an asset in the classroom discussions and projects.
That's really encouraging. Makes it feel much more accessible. What about actually getting in? Is the admissions process a huge hurdle?
They've really tried to make it as straightforward as possible, especially for busy working adults. Basically, you submit an online application, pay a $50 fee, and send in your official transcripts from previous colleges.
Okay. GPA requirements. Standardized tests.
Typically, they look for a minimum 2.5 undergraduate GPA for consideration. And here's a huge plus, the GMAT or GRE test requirement. It's currently waived if you meet that minimum GPA threshold.
Oh, wow. No GMAT or GRE needed. That saves a lot of hassle.
It really does. Now, if your GPA happens to be below 3.0, You can still submit GRE scores to help strengthen your application, but it's not automatically required if your GPA is okay. You also write a short statement of purpose, max 600 words, just explaining why you're interested, what your goals are. If you are interested in the thesis or maybe a PhD later, that's a good place to mention it.
Okay, pretty standard stuff then. Application, transcripts, maybe a statement.
Right. And they have some nice pathways for current Tarleton undergrads, too. If you're close to finishing your bachelor's within 12 hours and have a good GPA, 3.0 on your last 60 hours, you can ask for provisional enrollment. That lets you start taking grad classes early, get a jump start.
Oh, cool. Save time.
Exactly. And for certain undergrad majors like BS in Computer Information Systems, BAS in Information Technology, BBA Management Information Systems, they have accelerated programs. These let you double count some graduate courses towards both your bachelor's and master's degrees during your senior year. Saves time and money.
That's really smart. And can you transfer credits from somewhere else?
Yep, you can transfer up to 12 graduate credit hours from another accredited university, provided the courses are equivalent, and Tarleton approves them. So if you started a master's elsewhere, you might not have to start completely from scratch.
It sounds like they've really thought through making it accessible and supportive. What about once you're in the program? Especially being online, what kind of support services can students expect? You don't want to feel lost out there.
Absolutely not. And they seem to have a really robust support system specifically for online students. There's an online orientation just for grad students to get you comfortable with the systems. You get full access to the university's library resources, databases, journals, everything, 234/7. There's a writing center you can use remotely to get feedback on papers.
A virtual writing center.
Yes. And a tutoring and learning center for help with specific courses if you need it. Plus, you get assigned an academic advisor to help plan your degree, help with registration. There's financial aid counseling, info on scholarships, dedicated services for veterans, counseling services for personal support.
Wow, pretty comprehensive.
It is. And career support, too, help with resumes, job searching, internship info, even online student organizations to network. And there's one key contact person, the COB Graduate Programs Manager. Their email is cobb.graduate@tarleton.edu. They're like the central hub for questions about degree plans, registration, graduation requirements, anything. They really emphasize having that dedicated point person.
That's great to have a specific contact.
Definitely. Now, of course, to succeed online, you need the basics, a reliable computer, good internet, Microsoft Office, and you need those digital literacy skills, too, managing your time effectively, thinking critically, communicating clearly online, just being comfortable with the tech, skills most professionals are already developing anyway.
Okay, this is fantastic. We've covered the why, the strategic importance of IS. We've covered the how Tarleton's specific program, its flexibility, quality, curriculum. Now let's get to the what. What does this all lead to? What does this rigorous, flexible, strategically focused program actually prepare you for in the real world? What kinds of doors does an MSIS degree from Tarleton really open, especially somewhere dynamic like DFW?
Excellent question. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, education is an investment in your future career. And the answer is, this degree equips you with incredibly versatile skills, skills that prepare you for a really diverse range of technology-driven leadership roles. And not just in one industry, pretty much across the board. We're talking high-demand roles in systems analysis, IT project management, data science, information security. These aren't just jobs that are hot now. They're roles projected to be crucial for decades.
Those skills that are built to last.
Exactly. And what's really compelling, I think, is how directly you can map the Tarleton curriculum to what industries, especially in a tech hub like DFW, are actually looking for. Remember that explosive job growth we talked about? It's not just random tech jobs. It's specific strategic needs.
Okay, connect the dots for us. How does the coursework lead to jobs?
Let's take that data mastery pillar. We discussed courses like BCIS 5392, Business Intelligence Systems, and BCIS 5316, Applied Database Management. That knowledge directly plugs into the huge demand for AI, machine learning, and advanced data analytics professionals. Think about major DFW employers like AT&T, Dell, American Airlines, financial services firms. They have a massive growing need for people who can not just manage data, but pull strategic insights from it.
So those courses prepare you for roles like?
Roles like data scientist, business intelligence analyst, maybe even data architect. Roles where you're using data strategically to give the company an edge.
Okay. What about project management?
That BCIS 5351 IT project management course. That's direct preparation for one of the most sought-after techno-managerial career paths out there. Graduates are ready to lead complex tech projects, rolling out new software across the company, managing a cloud migration, overseeing a digital transformation initiative. These are high-impact, highly visible roles. IT project manager, program manager.
Vital roles.
Absolutely. Then you have courses like BCIS 5307, Systems Analysis for Managers, and the capstone, BCIS 5381, Strategic Information Systems. These set you up perfectly for roles like systems analyst or IT consultant. Here, you're not just fixing tech problems, you're redesigning business processes, finding inefficiencies, implementing IT solutions that make the company run better, faster, smarter. You're driving digital transformation from the inside, or as an external expert.
The problem solvers and solution designers?
Precisely. Even BCIS 5304 Telecommunications for Managers, understanding networks and security, prepares you for critical infrastructure roles, maybe leading towards network architect or a senior telecommunications manager. And don't forget those information security electives, like ISCC 5305 on ethical hacking. With cybersecurity being such a massive concern, those courses directly align with the huge demand in DFW for information security analysts, cybersecurity consultants, people protecting the company's digital crown jewels.
It's really clear how the curriculum maps directly to these high-demand strategic roles. It's not just theory, it's practical preparation. Could you maybe paint a picture of what a day might look like in some of these roles? Give us a feel for the actual work.
Sure, let's try. Imagine being a systems analyst. You might spend your morning meeting with users in the finance department to understand their pain points with the current reporting system. Then, you spend the afternoon analyzing those requirements, maybe sketching out process flows for a new automated solution, and drafting specifications for the development team. You're the translator between business needs and technical possibilities.
Okay, I can see that. What about an IT project manager?
Okay, IT project manager. Your day is probably packed with meetings, coordinating with software developers, the quality assurance testers, the business stakeholders. You're tracking progress against the timeline, managing the budget, identifying risks, maybe negotiating for more resources. You're the conductor, keeping the whole complex tech orchestra playing together on schedule.
High pressure, sounds like.
Can be. How about a data scientist or BI analyst? You might start your day exploring a massive data set, looking for patterns. Maybe you build a predictive model to forecast customer churn. Then you spend time visualizing your findings into charts and dashboards that clearly communicate the key insights to executives, helping them decide where to focus marketing efforts next. You're finding the story hidden in the numbers.
That sounds fascinating. One more. Information security.
All right, information security analyst. Your day could involve monitoring network traffic for suspicious activity, investigating potential security alert, maybe running vulnerability scans on new servers. You might be updating security policies, training employees on phishing awareness, or responding to an actual incident. You're constantly thinking defensively, trying to stay one step ahead of the threats.
Okay, that really brings the roles to life. And you mentioned the DFW advantage.
Yeah, the DFW region itself is a huge plus. Because its economy is so diverse: aerospace, finance, healthcare, logistics, retail, tech giants, startups. IS professionals here can be like chameleons.
Chameleons. How so?
Yeah. Meaning the core skills, analyzing needs, designing solutions, managing data, leading projects, are transferable across all these different sectors. You're not locked into one industry. You could apply strategic tech solutions in aerospace one year, healthcare the next. That gives you incredible career resilience and long-term security. You can adapt as the economy shifts.
That's a really good point, not being tied to one sector's fate.
Exactly. And we see this reflected in what major employers like AT&T look for. Their tech career programs often specifically target graduate degree holders in STEM, and they emphasize needing that blend of technical skills and strategic thinking. For roles like data science engineer, yeah, they want data analysis, AI, machine learning skills, but they also stress needing strong communication skills to explain complex findings to the business side.
Right, back to that translation skill.
Yep. And for their systems engineer roles, it's not just tech know-how. It's strategic insight to improve network and application performance to support core business goals. AT&T explicitly talks about digital transformation as a key career area that tells you they're looking for IS-type thinkers who can be catalysts for change, not just maintain the status quo.
That's powerful validation from a major employer. It shows this MSIS degree really hits the mark for what companies need for the future. What about results? Do we have any hard data on how Tarleton MSIS alumni are actually doing after they graduate? Success metrics?
We do, and the numbers are really, really encouraging. They paint a clear picture of the return on investment. A recent survey from one of their webinars showed some great stats.
Okay, let's hear them.
Get this. 100% of the graduates surveyed reported being satisfied with their program experience. 100%.
Wow, you don't see that often.
Right. It says a lot about the quality and the support.
Mhm.
And 94% said their degree either advanced their career already or they expect it will advance their career. So a clear link to upward mobility.
Okay, almost everyone sees a career benefit.
And maybe most telling for immediate relevance. 100% ended up working in fields directly related to their degree. It shows the curriculum is spot on for the job market.
That's fantastic. Direct applicability. What about salary? Any data there?
Yes. The average reported starting annual salary for graduates was around $67,500. Now think about that. When you compare it to the estimated total cost of the program tuition and fees, around $15,000 to $16,000.
Whoa. You could potentially earn back the cost of the degree in your first few months of salary increase.
Exactly. It highlights a really significant and rapid return on investment, often within the first year or two out of the program. It makes it a very smart financial move for boosting your career earnings.
That's compelling math. Any specific examples of alumni paths?
Yeah, lots of inspiring stories. We've seen teachers transition into edtech leadership roles, using their MSIS to design better learning systems. We've seen healthcare workers move into managing hospital information systems. People already in IT break out of purely technical roles and get promoted to IT director or similar leadership positions where they're managing teams and strategy.
So real transformation stories.
Definitely. And like I mentioned, we've even seen graduates use it as a springboard to academia, like the student who did the thesis and is now pursuing a doctorate at UT Dallas. It really opens up a wide range of possibilities and fuels significant professional growth. It truly empowers you to shape your own success story. #outro.
Okay, wow. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway from our deep dive today? It feels like the MS in information systems, well, it's clearly not just another tech degree, is it?
Not at all.
It's really this powerful strategic credential. It puts you right at that critical intersection where technology meets business strategy. You're prepared to lead, not just, execute technical tasks.
That's the essence of it.
We've seen how that unique blend, the solid tech skills combined with those crucial leadership, communication, and strategic thinking abilities, creates a professional who's a strategist, an innovator, a real problem solver, someone who can actually reshape how organizations use technology. You're not just keeping the systems running, you're designing the future state.
Well said.
And Tarleton State University's MSIS program really emerges as this carefully designed pathway. It's AACSB-accredited, incredibly flexible with its online format, affordable. It seems like a fantastic route to seizing these opportunities, especially if you're in or aiming for a dynamic tech hub like DFW.
Absolutely. And this whole discussion really brings us back to that initial question, doesn't it?
Right.
It prompts a pretty important moment of reflection for you, our listener.
Which is?
In this world where technology is just constantly reshaping everything, every industry, how we work, how we live, are you positioning yourself to just keep pace? Or are you preparing to actually lead that transformation?
Lead or follow.
Right. An MSIS degree, particularly one like Tarleton's, gives you the tools and the mindset, not just to adapt to change, but to actively drive it, to solve today's complex business problems and innovate for whatever comes next.
That's a powerful thought.
So we really encourage you, explore the program further. Think about how your own unique background and goals could fit. Maybe start drafting that statement of purpose we talked about. And definitely don't hesitate to reach out to the FEOB Graduate Programs Manager at Tarleton. That email again is cobb.graduate@tarleton.edu. They're there to answer your specific questions and guide you.
Great advice.
Because remember, in this digital age we're in, the future isn't something that just happens to you. You have the power to build it, one strategic decision, one well-chosen educational investment at a time,